What is up, everybody? Welcome to Marks on Media Live, our first stream after the rebrand. And hey, happy United States Independence Day for all those who celebrate. If you're from the United States, you should definitely celebrate in some way, shape, or form. Just have a damn hot dog already. Go to a festival that's going on. I know some are going on in my area today, some tomorrow. Hi, Kitty. Every single time I start talking, uh, like above, like a whisper, my boy cat, no, say hi, Noah. He says bye, y'all. He made his appearance for the show. He's gone. I'm sure he'll be back. He's just within petting distance. But anyway, but yeah, it's 4th of July celebrations going on today on the 3rd of July in many areas. Some got started with it early this past weekend. It was weird. There's one specific town my wife and I like going to for anytime they have some kind of holiday celebration, whatever, or just like events going on. But they did theirs on like this past Saturday. I was out of town for my grandparents' 70th anniversary, a surprise get together. Family literally came in from all over the freaking place that my grandparents hadn't seen in years. So that was really cool. Me and my sister came in. I had my aunt and uncle and their three daughters came in, and yeah, it was a fun time had by all. My grandparents were surprised. My grandfather, who never shows any emotion ever about anything, got a little choked up. Yeah, that's Noah again. Hi, buddy. You might be able to hear him purring. Also, if you hear some chomping, it's my dog. She is next to me on the floor. She got some new toys. She's a big old Pyrenees puppy, so she likes to chomp on things, and she destroyed all of her toys. They went to, as my wife says, they all went to toy heaven. So she had to go out and get her some brand new power chewer toys, and she likes rope toys. These things, we've had them a total of, I think, 3 days, and some of them are already shredding. If anybody out there has any suggestions for power chewers, if you have a power chewer dog and you found anything, I know Kong brand is pretty good. Anything with a rope is the only thing she's tearing up right now, but either way, yeah, some stuff going on tomorrow in my area as well. Tomorrow's obviously the hot day because it's the holiday. And then my wife and I get the day off. So I'm not streaming tomorrow. I'm doing it today because of having the day off tomorrow, and I just want to chill and maybe do some yard work, stuff like that. And then Friday, some people are still doing celebrations. So a heavy docket of Independence Day stuff going on. But either way, thank you to anybody watching on Kick for the first time. I just signed up for a Kick account yesterday. I recently trashed Twitch uh, on my last cast, so in solidarity with hating Twitch, I have signed up for Kick. I don't know anything about Kick really, other than I believe they allow gambling streams. But other than that, we're live on YouTube and obviously Rumble. You can see the I think up that way. I think you see the Rumble Studio logo. So we're live on Rumble, YouTube, X. Thanks to anybody watching on X. We're live on Locals for the first time ever. Yeah, just thank you one and all for joining and hanging out with us today. We have a full docket, so let's just dive right into it. I put it off long enough. I have a pretty bad headache today, but that is the story of my life. I wanted to dive into some Marvel stuff. I've got sources. You'll see a lot of the same sources over and over. I thought I muted my other computer. Da, 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 da. Every time for anybody watching on X, you can follow me. I rebranded. This is the first stream since the big rebrand. You might notice that we are now Marks on Media everywhere. So not much was done here on Rumble because we were already Marks on Media. So you don't have to worry about that too much. I changed a few things, I think, but you can follow us on YouTube. It's youtube.com. Excuse me, I can't talk. Getting all choked up. youtube.com/at Marks on Media. Oddly enough, I thought Marks on Media was pretty unique. Apparently, it was not that unique because on X and Instagram, that name was already taken. So we are at at Marks_on_media. Yeah, so cool. I'm trying to get everything shared on X because X is where I get the most play. So thank you to, like I said, anybody checking out the show for the first time, but kept you waiting long enough. Let's dive into. Like I said, you're going to see some of the same sources all over. Why can't I find that? There we go. Up at the top, dummy. Share my screen. Captain America Brave New World reshoots reportedly balloon budget to $375 million. It's like they're shooting a brand new movie. Can we just call an embargo on all of this crap? Like all of these ballooning budget movies. Oh man, you don't need 375,000, or excuse me, $375 million. You don't need that to shoot a film. I'm going to make the bold statement of that right now, and they're never going to recoup that money ever. Because if you think about it, this isn't always the hard and fast rule. I believe there were a few movies that they did not do that this rule with, just because they spent so damn much money on it. But usually you take the budget and you double it, and that's the cost of advertising and post production and all that. So you can let's see, do a quick math here. I'm really bad at math in my head. $750 million thereabouts. Absolutely insane, and nobody's gonna watch this damn thing. Nobody cares. I can't say nobody, but as if Marvel Studios' production problems with Blade weren't bad enough, a supposed insider is reporting that thanks to its recent round of reshoots, the budget for Captain America Brave New World has gotten absolutely out of control. For those that don't remember the saga of this, I mean, obviously, this is Black Captain America because Falcon can't just be Falcon. And I know the argument is going to be, well, actually, this happens in the comic books. Yeah, well, Bucky takes over that mantle first, but they're not doing that. They're keeping him Bucky or Winter Soldier or whatever the hell. I don't think he's Winter Soldier anymore, technically. But either way. And this also was New World Order. And then they were like, oh, no, that's too politically divisive. And the right, quote unquote, is using that term, New World Order. We got to erase that from the lexicon. So now it's Brave New World. Cool. Despite facing down such threats as Hydra, the Flag Smashers, and even Thanos, Sam Williams' biggest challenge yet has proven to be getting his debut solo film off the ground. Look, I like the Falcon character, and I like Sam Wilson, but does he really need a solo film? Just, he's more of like a side character to me. But whatever. Announced immediate, and I love Anthony Mackie as an actor, by the way. I don't love everything he's in. He was in We Got a Ghost or something like that. That was god awful. It looked funny from the previews. David Harbour plays a ghost, and there's a big, not really a twist, but like the reveal at the end was real sad. But still, it was like they have racially charged language in there, very racially charged language in there, because it's a black family in the suburbs, so they gotta throw some stuff in there about the whites. And it just all around, even if you took that stuff out, it's still just a bad movie. But announced immediately following the series finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the fourth Captain America film was originally slated for release on May 3rd, 2024, However, thanks to a combination of the 2023 Hollywood Guild strikes and Marvel reshuffling their entire production slate later that year, the film was eventually delayed to its current release date of February 14th, 2024. Like all movies, Brave New World was allotted a brief period following its principal photography to conduct reshoots, the filming of which started in May of 2024 and lasted roughly 22 days. Almost a month of reshoots. And I can't, my gosh, I just can't even fathom all this. And it goes on. It included a complete removal of a previously filmed Serpent Society plotline starring WWE star Seth Rollins. Wow, they cut Rollins from the film. My gosh. So my dog and my cats are making noise in the background. I apologize. Either way, the introduction of the news and as of yet unidentified villain played by Breaking Bad star Giancarlo Esposito, because he's in everything. I love that guy. Absolutely love Giancarlo. Is it Giancarlo or Giancarlo? I might be pronouncing it completely wrong. I think it's Giancarlo. My bad. But I love that dude. He's awesome. And he's like the perfect, like, even keeled, like, villainous character. He was great. I freaking loved him in Breaking Bad. He's good in The Boys. I haven't played what the hell was that? Far Cry that he's in. Is it 5? Far Cry 5 or 6? I haven't played that, but it looks good. He did play a good guy in Maze Runner, the Maze Runner series, but that was it. That's the only thing I've ever seen him play a good guy in. All in all, he's a great actor. I love his presence on screen, but does he have to be in everything? Given how labor-intensive they seemed, many speculated that these reshoots would end up costing Marvel Studios far more than they were looking to spend, especially in light of Disney's overall goal of getting a better handle on their failing franchises. Not Marvel. I know that recently I read a story about what was Bob Iger coming in and telling Kevin Feige, who just wanted to go full steam ahead with everything. He's like, "Whoa, dude! All these shows and movies you had planned were like halving them. Like most of this crap is just that crap, and it doesn't need to be made. Nobody's gonna watch it. It's costing us a lot of money. Boom!" And Kevin Feige was like, "No!" It's like the meme of the the Trump hater chick. You know what I'm talking about, the girl who, like, freaked out when they announced Trump as, the president in 2016. She's just like, "No!" That was Kevin Feige when Bob Iger was like, "Okay, dude, like, enough's enough. We don't need a lot of this crap." Nobody watched Echo as far as I know. There was, like, no discourse around Echo because I don't think anybody watched or gave a damn. Blatant PR fluff. Yeah, it's going on about. Let's see. And these reshoots are said to cost Disney Marvel anywhere from between $75 to $100 million. Yikes, man. Oh, my dog is being destructive with her brand new toys. I'm going to have to vacuum my office again. To this end, Ryumi's contact opine, it's likely they're shooting a brand new movie. I mean, maybe. What was the last one? Can anybody help me out? What was that last one where they were like, dude, there had been so many reshoots to this thing. And they kept redoing it and redoing it and redoing it. I know this isn't Marvel. Snow White, that new Snow White movie, they've reshot that thing I don't know how many times. There's zero chance of them even coming close to making their money back on Snow White with Rachel Zegler. The most unlikable See You Next Tuesday in Hollywood behind, or at least one of them. Good God, like such an unlikable twit of a woman. And just everything about that movie was snake bit. Nobody's gonna watch it. Nobody's gonna like it, but it's gonna be super divisive online because they're gonna say the only people hating on this movie are the whites and mostly male whites, which is not true. They're gonna post that meme, everybody hating Snow White, and it's just like a bunch of like boomers with like flags and stuff like that, like American flags in their profile picture. That's the meme, right? Or a bunch of Karens. But all right, moving on from Marvel to DC. This one is actually not bad. Well, I guess it depends on your definition, like what side of the aisle you fall on with this. I have not read this, so we're gonna read it together. Alleged from that Park Place, as you can see. Hey, maybe have that toy for at least a week. Oh my gosh, she's gonna get a foreign body. She's gonna swallow some of that string. She just got these toys. Now the toys themselves are still intact. Just she's shredding the freaking rope, and I just hope she doesn't swallow a lot of it. What, kitty? You can come up in my lap. Dang it. But alleged plot details revealed for James Gunn's Superman film. I'm like one of the only people not just like crapping on this already before it comes out. Alleged plot details have been shared for James Gunn's upcoming Superman film, which was originally announced as Superman Legacy. Kind of glad they dropped that name. I like just Superman. Starting over, clean slate, boom. It's not Man of Steel, just Superman. According to X user Rejected Scooper, the film will see Superman stand out from other heroes given he has a no-kill rule, while Lex Luthor is a war profiteer. Okay. The scoop says other superheroes are edgy and kill when necessary. Superman is an outcast among them for his optimism and no-kill rule, and ultimately inspires them to change their ways. Lex Luthor is a war profiteering on Lex Luthor is war profiteering on an armed conflict in a foreign nation called Jarhanapuria for IMDb. Okie doke. If anybody knows, is that in the DC lore? Can anybody help me out there? It goes on. Superman intervenes in the conflict, and the U.S. government deploys a clone created by Luthor dubbed Ultraman to arrest him. Is that who Ultraman was supposed to be? Looks absolutely, or am I thinking of a different character? Let me see, because they're the dude. I forget the dude they got in the movie right now with the T on his face. I don't think that's Ultraman. Ultraman. Okay, not the. Let's see, Ultraman DC. Okay, that's a completely different character. I have not seen him. Like any pictures of him in the media. I remember him though. He was in one of the cartoon movies. Those are awesome, by the way. If you have a chance to check out the DC cartoon movies, that's where DC is rocking it. Is all them films, and they're actually based on a lot of like actual stories out of the comics. They alter some of them, but if you're a fan of like DC comics and cartoon movies, like some of them are really good. Either way, uh, this is like sort of like the plot of Superman 3, I think. The Fight for Peace, I think, or something like that. I might be butchering that. Maybe it's 4. Either way, it's kind of like that plot, but better. Ultraman deteriorates into Bizarro and goes rogue. Okay. Superman and his super friends must stop him while Lois Lane and the Daily Planet staff work to explore or expose Luthor for his crimes. The scoop concludes movie reportedly ends with Superman revealing his secret identity to Lois, Luthor avoiding repercussions for his crimes, and announcing he's running for Presidente, and Supergirl arriving on Earth, plus other DCU setups like the Engineer getting recruited into the Authority. The Authorita. Yeah, this guy. Uh, that's not Ultraman, is it? Or is it? I might be totally wrong. Oh, okay. There he is. Black Noir. That's what everybody was making those comparisons, by the way. That's because if anybody saw Black Noir was trending on Twitter, like when these set photos came out, and they're like, yeah. And what's funny is in The Boys, the comics, not the show, Black Noir was actually a clone. They found out a clone of Homelander, which is like their evil version of Superman. So that's funny. They're like flipping it that he's Black Noir was also evil, but this one, Superman's obviously a goody two shoes, good guy. This might be a hot take. I don't know. I really don't know. I loved. Well, this first part is going to be a hot take, and people are going to say I'm disingenuous about it. But no, I'm 100% serious. I loved Man of Steel. I really like the movie. It had its problems. I'm not going to argue that, especially like the part where his dad was like, no, let me die because you can't reveal your powers or whatever. It's like, dude, you could have lied. You could have been like, hey, don't trust your lying eyes and like gaslit everybody. You could have done something, but it's like, no. Don't save your dad. Let him die in a tornado. Even though you're effing Superman. Like, give me a break. That part was stupid. The ending of Zod at the end, though, and they're like, "Oh, Superman doesn't kill." Like, yeah, but the way they set it up, I guess you could argue they didn't have to set that up. But the way they set it up, if that was real, yeah, he would have totally snapped his neck. I mean, he didn't really have much other recourse. Zod was like, left him no choice, and he was pretty much as strong as Superman. So what the hell was he supposed to do, man? Like, just let him end that entire family? Uh, Dad, mom, child? Like, give me a break. Oh, Superman doesn't get like, I get it, but I don't know. You've already got I guess that's the way they're going here. I think that's the way they're gonna go with whoever they haven't even brought up Batman yet. I think it's time they put Batman on the shelf for just a tiny bit because you've already got the Matt Reeves the Batman. So yeah. I don't know. I'm hyped. I think David Cornsweet was a good choice, at least as far as the look, bro. His outfit, I dig it. I don't hate it. I do not hate it. But all right. Moving on. Yeah. I have not seen any of this either. I've not been keeping up on the news, so I had no idea um that he was even in this that Pedro Pascal and whoever the hell Paul Mescal, whoever he is. I had no idea they were going to be in the sequel. I knew there was going to be a sequel to Gladiator. And I was like, how the hell do you make a sequel to that? I haven't seen the movie, but I know how it ends. And yeah. And then Russell Crowe, I think, said something about, I don't know why I'm not in it. Like, did you not watch your own movie? All right, man. Give me just a second here. Setting some stuff up. I know I got the article up, but multitasking. All right. Paul Mescal duels Pedro Pascal in Gladiator Dos first look photos. They are warring gladiators in Ridley Scott's Gladiator sequel. I'm assuming Ridley Scott is still making this, right? Right? Because if so, I'm down. Paul Mescal entered the Great Arena ahead of the first Gladiator Dos trailer on July 9th. Oh, it's coming up in about a week. Paramount Pictures released first look photos of director Ridley Scott's sequel. Okay, so he is doing it. To his Russell Crowe starring 2000 epic. The images via Vanity Fair show the Oscar-nominated after-son actor as the older Lucius Verus, originally played by a young Spencer Treat Clark, the grandson of Marcus Aurelius and son of Lucia Connie Nielsen, fighting his entire life in the arena. I'm assuming, like I said, I didn't see Gladiator, so I'm assuming that's the name of Russell Crowe's character. I thought it was Maximus. Okay. Same arena where Crows enslaved General turning gladiator Maximus Decimus Meridius avenged them, his murdered family with the death of the power-hungry Emperor Commodus, Joaquin Phoenix. Okay, so I was wrong. It tells me right there at the end. And then who the hell is Marcus Aurelius? Or Aurelius, whatever. Dude, am I wrong? Or does this guy look like Logan Paul from his profile? Kind of looks like Logan Paul. I don't know. Pedro Pascal is another one where I'm like, dude, do we really need him in everything? But he is a good actor. He's fine. I'm like half and half on him personally. Because on one half, his political takes are just insufferable, and he's a twerp. But at the same time, he seems kind of like a nice guy. But either way, screened it at Caesar's Palace Coliseum in Las Vegas, that a slave could take revenge against an emperor, that a slave could get justice in the arena. Cool. I will watch. I will definitely watch. Okay, he doesn't so much look like Logan Paul there. Still a tiny bit. I don't know. Mullet, though. Pedro, older, but kind of like Russell Crowe. I don't know. I don't think he's much older than Russell Crowe. I haven't seen him like arena battle since Denzel. There we go. He looks awesome, man. Denzel Washington. You can put him in anything and I'll be down. Yeah, he looks a wee bit like he looks like Logan Paul's distant cousin. Am I wrong? Hit me up in chat. Am I wrong? I feel like I should know her. There's the Paul cousin again. That dude. Man, don't want him in the arena. He ain't gonna walk out. Oh, he looks like another actor I can't think of off the top of my head. He looks familiar. Is that a really bad wig? So is he supposed to be the Joaquin Phoenix of this movie? I'm gonna say yes. Oh, Ridley Scott. Okay. Cool. I mean, like I said, I'll watch this. I obviously got to watch the first one first, but those are the set photos. Looks good, man. I don't know. I think these are the same photos, I believe. Yeah. Pascal 49 dubbed Mescal 28 Brickwall Paul because of the brutal battles between Acacius and Lucius. Quote, he got so strong, I would rather be thrown from a building than have to fight him again, Pascal said. Quote, to go up against somebody that fit that talented, that fit and that talented and that much younger, outside of Ridley being a total genius, Paul is a big reason as to why I would put my poor body through that experience. What I was going to say about Pedro, the last time we saw him in any sort of arena fighting was Game of Thrones, where things didn't end well for his character, I'll say. Started off strong and got a little hairy. Anyway, that's that. Tell me what you think in the comments. What do y'all think of the new Gladiator look? All right. And did you like the first one? Do you think this needs a sequel? I'm gonna say probably no, but at the same time, I think it could. I think it could be fun. All right. Take a quick pause here for station identification. This is Marks on Media. I've rebranded a lot of stuff. So if you are on if you are on X, if you found me on X, please like or follow, I should say. It's a wrong platform. If you're on X, or if you want to find me on X, it's at marks_on_media. Same thing on Instagram. I'm trying to get better about posting on Instagram. I'm definitely very active on X all the time, Twix, whatever you want to call it. On Rumble, it's rumble.com/C/marks on media. Or maybe there's not a C. Hold on. Pause. There is a C. Okay. Rumble.com/C/marks on media. And on YouTube, where youtube.com/@marks on media. Everything is rebranded. If you followed me previously, you will know that I was Main Event Marks. We started off as a wrestling exclusive podcast. Me and my buddy Greg. He unfortunately passed away very young this past December, and I'll still maybe occasionally post some never before heard episodes coming up for special occasions. I am going to SummerSlam. I'll cover that. I occasionally cover wrestling news, but right now, deep into Marks on media, I cover anime. I cover TV, movies, video games, you name it. Occasionally dive into books and all that good stuff. But yeah, so thank you all. If you have not joined, I'm also on Locals. I'm trying to figure that out. I've never used anything like Locals. I'm going to start streaming on Kick a lot. So please follow me on Kick. Yeah, I try to stream at least once a week. So let's keep it up. I've been good about it so far. This is my 4th stream. I think week 1 I streamed twice. Oh, hey puppy. Hi puppy. Oh, yes. Say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. Here. Oh, yeah. It's a good puppy. Good Pyrenees puppy. Yeah. She is, she was, purposely bought by my wife. She really wanted a dog. She was purposely adopted by my wife based on her breed because we have 6, count them, 6 cats, all foster fails. We got them out of, I think every single one of them came out of my wife's grandma's barn. Now my wife's mom's barn. We fostered them and kept them. So cats come first in every aspect. And we wanted a dog that would get along with cats. She's amazing with cats. She's not food aggressive at all. She's not aggressive in any way, shape, or form at all. So it's great. Great. If you want a dog that's great with cats, Great Pyrenees is the way to go. They get really big. The girls get about 80 to 90 pounds ish at topping out at 100. Ours is she's not fully grown yet. She's at about 65, 67 pounds, somewhere in there. The cats beat her up sometimes, not like real bad. She doesn't get hurt or anything like that, but they'll smack her, tell her to go away. Anyway, she's a good puppy. I love her. But because my wife got her, she's my wife's dog. She's become more of a daddy's girl in the last couple of months, but she's still very much my wife's dog, and she was named by my wife Anna for Anna from Frozen. Don't know why she picked that name, but I'm like, whatever. My wife's a Disney fanatic. Let's get into this one. Another one, I need to play the games. I have not, but I will 100% watch this movie. Metal Gear Solid is still in development. Producer confirms, courtesy of comicbook.com, one of my favorite sites. Aria Rod, the producer behind the upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie, has given new update on the status of the film. For the better part of the past 2 decades, a movie adaptation of Konami's Metal Gear Solid video game series has been in the works. to some degree in recent years. Work on the projected project picked up steam, notably by Oscar Isaac, another dude who's in everything now, has signed on to play Solid Snake in the movie. Good choice. Now, with Isaac reportedly having stepped away from Metal Gear Solid crap, Rod has made it clear that the film is still happening. I don't think have they filmed a single frame of footage? Do they have a finalized script? Like, what's going on? Maybe this will explain. We'll see. Speaking to reporter Brian Crensenet, whatever, at Game. Sorry, Brian, whoever you are. Arad stressed that Metal Gear Solid is still in development. Arad said that the film is currently in the scripting phase. So there you go. Which is where it has been for multiple years. Man, we're going to be talking about this guy later. Very reminiscent of George R.R. Martin with his. I mean, it's not quite that bad, but it's going. They said they've been working on it for a decade. George R.R. Martin has left Jon Snow. Spoiler alert for anybody out there. He's left Jon Snow bleeding out in the snow for the past 11 years. I think maybe up to 12 at this point. And he still has not finished The Winds of Winter. And he's tired of people asking about it. Where's The Winds of Winter? You know, it's slow. I'm working on it. It's happening soon. You know, I'm upset about it myself, even though I'm the guy who's dragging my fat ass. Anyway, uh, I my bad. I went off on a tangent, but it's just annoying. Like I'm not a reader of the. I've read bits and pieces of the Game of Thrones books, or excuse me, a Song of Ice and Fire books. Game of Thrones was the first one. But damn, dude, I feel so bad for the people that like got heavily invested in your book series, and then you're like flipping them the bird. But this, just God, man. Outside of this, Arad failed to say anything else about the process or how the process is going, but he stressed that those in charge of the project are trying their best to do right by the source material. To that end, he believes that fans will be surprised by how it turns out. Yeah, so they lost Oscar Isaac, which sucks, but hopefully they get an equally good or better person to play Solid Snake. And on top of that, like this kind of reminds me of the new Crow remake coming out, where it was supposed to be Jason Momoa, that I thought was an interesting choice, and they got an even more interesting choice with Bill Skarsgård, and it just looks awful. Hopefully, it's not the same for this one, but either way. Quote, we're working on the script some more, but I can't talk about it yet. I think everyone's going to be really excited and surprised. Probably can't talk about it because they're going to change that script multiple times before it goes prime time, baby. These are just movies I want to make as good as possible, you know? Yeah, well, let me finish this. I think getting Metal Gear right will obviously be amazing because I think it's a lot more meditative than some of the other adaptations. Personally, I want it to be terrific. No, you want it to be god awful, and nobody likes it. I mean, I hope you want your movie to be good. And the thing is, like I said, I have not played Metal Gear Solid, but they look awesome. It's a game that I hope to get into here soon, but I have a lot of games lined up that I really need to get into. I know for a fact it has a loyal fan base. Before he passed away, unfortunately, Greg was super excited for Snake Eater to come out on Nintendo Switch. That game, from what I've seen of it so far, it looked cool. Metal Gear, like I said, Metal Gear Solid has a pretty big loyal fan base. So hopefully they do it some justice. Either way, let's get into our next story here. Some more movie news. Some first look stuff. This one I do have an opinion on, as far as like I've seen the other films, and I just before we went live today, I watched the trailer for this. First look at Jack Kesey. as Hellboy in debut The Crooked Man trailer. So that's what he looks like. Look, the costuming is cool. I think the makeup is about as good as you're gonna get it. I don't like this actor as Hellboy. And it's not about his skills. I'm talking about his look, and he's got blue eyes. Does Hellboy have blue eyes? I know it's a small thing, but quit. No, get it out of your mouth. My cat's like in my lap, chewing on my damn headphones. Oh, nails, girl. Nail trim day. The trailer looks like a Hellboy movie, combining horror elements with, comic bookish, whatever. It's based on the Crooked Man limited series and directed by Brian Taylor, who did Crank. That movie was okay. That movie's so old. Why? Like, is that his only thing that he did? Anybody knows? Um, Kessie, who played Black Tom Cassidy in Deadpool 2, don't remember, assumes a title role in a story set in 1950s rural Appalachia. Hellboy and a rookie BPRD agent, played by Adeline Rudolph, discovered a small community haunted by witches led by the mysterious The Crooked Man. Yeah, Ron Perlman and his two movies, I think, were the best. Hellboy, I don't know if that's not controversial. Ron Perlman's look, I don't like Ron Perlman, but his look as Hellboy and the characters surrounding that Hellboy, I think, were the best. Uh, Very entertaining. I know people crap on the second film. I really liked it. I've seen it a few times. Good stuff. I didn't totally hate the David Harbour movie. That one's a hot take. A lot of people hated it. Absolutely hated it. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was bad at all. Is it something that I was like, "Oh, man, this is great"? No. Maybe it had too much Marvel-esque humor. The CGI was so-so, but I didn't hate it. I'm gonna have to take a break after this story to check something out. But I don't know. I haven't seen much of the guy. I just don't like his face. Maybe that's unfair. The trailer looked interesting, something I'm definitely gonna look more into. But yeah. Give me one. Damn it. Give me one. I think yeah, it just sounds like my cat is uh burying something, but I gotta double check. Uh Be right back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. All right. I didn't want to just run away with nothing playing whatsoever. I should have just set my background and walked off, but I kept hearing. For some reason, my cat was taking a long time to bury something, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Normally, that's not for any cat owners. Sometimes that's not good, but I think the particular cat, the one that I was just going off on for chewing on my freaking headphones, that cat, she takes the worst poops I've ever smelled. Like I said, I have 6 cats. Out of the 6 of them, she's on the same diet. She's been on the same diet literally pretty much her whole life. And at least since after her spay, we've had them all on the same diet, IMS forever. And her poops clear the freaking house, dude. I don't know why. And she's not sick. I don't know. I know I'm talking a lot about animals today. If none of you are pet owners, you don't understand and you can't connect with me on that one. I get it. Last thing. I don't think this. Let me double check what this link is really quickly. See if I for sure want to cover it. Um. Okay. Yeah. It's not what I thought it was. There was something else that I thought this link was to. All right. Here we go. Warner Bros. Legendary's next MonsterVerse film is set for March 2027. Hot damn, that's a long time away. That's a very long time away. Warner Bros. Has reportedly slated an untitled MonsterVerse film for March 26, 2027. I don't know why I'm complaining because I still haven't watched the new. I saw Godzilla X Kong in theaters, like the first one. I have not seen the new one at all. Like we started watching it and then something came up and we had to leave and we never got back into it. And every time I keep seeing it and my wife's like, we need to finish watching that. I'm like, yeah. And then we're just never in the mood. Maybe tomorrow because I got the day off. Maybe we'll watch that. I don't know. Ah, crap. I forgot. I can't touch the wire for my camera. Am I still? Yeah, I'm still there. I'm in your corner. All right, let's go through some of this. The Hollywood Reporter has reported that June 6th, that Great Sputor, whatever, or Grant Sputor, my bad, will direct the next entry in Warner Bros. And Legendary Entertainment's MonsterVerse franchise. The website had slated the new film, quote, is described as a continuation of the franchise centering Godzilla, Kong, and an assortment of other titans. So just like the last two movies. Screenwriter David Callahan, who did Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse films. Cool. Will write the script for what is called the next installment of the Godzilla Kong movie, a monster movie series. Callahan received a story credit for the Hollywood live-action Godzilla film in 2014. A Hollywood Reporter then stated a week later that director Adam Wingard would not return for the next film in the series due to timing issues. Wingard is reportedly planning to direct an original movie titled Onslaught this fall before taking on other projects. The new film, let's see, earned $80 million in its opening weekend in the U.S., topping the box office for the weekend. The film earned a total of 567,620. I'm sorry, my bad. $567,621,868 worldwide. That is a pretty good take home. The MonsterVerse Hollywood franchise currently includes the 2014 Godzilla film, the 2016 Kong Skull Island film, the 2019 Godzilla King of Monsters film, the 2021 Godzilla vs. Kong film, and Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. The franchise also includes Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Legendary Entertainment series featuring Godzilla and the Titans. So that was on Apple TV Plus. So that's the one. Like the other one I will come back to. I tried watching Monarch. I didn't get very far into it, so maybe it gets better. I just lost interest. It was pretty boring. I don't know. Does it get better? Has anybody actually seen it? Does it improve, or is it pretty slow going throughout the whole thing? I don't mind a slow burn on a series. It just sorry, I am a super unprofessional. This is the cat that clears the house with her poops. Say hi, Bessie. Her name is Blessing, but I call her Bessie. She's super annoying when it comes to electronic equipment. She's the main cat that I can't leave wires out. She'll chew on my headphones mostly and my phone cord. Like I said, big pet extravaganza stream today. Do not walk on my keyboard. Okay. Get up there. Show off your butt, I guess. Man, all my pets are making an appearance today. Don't let your butthole make an appearance. I might get kicked off a stream for that one. Put that one on only cats. All right. So that's all I had for movies, not the stream. The stream goes on. Can you get it? I love you, but get the hell out of my lap. Gosh. Cats, dogs, all of them. I've only got one okay. I'm skipping around here. God dang, she can't take a hint. It's like a woman, am I right? Joking. Don't cancel me. So I've got some good news and I've got some bad news from TV land. Of course I'm going to cover. Whoa, quit chewing on my headphones. Of course I'm going to cover the Acolyte because that's a thing. I also love. I have a love-hate relationship with Doctor Who, so I'm going to cover that. Bro, sis, girl and boy. Who's on somebody's under? Oh no, I got both calicos. My gosh. Hey, stop. No. Good God. This is the most unprofessional stream ever. Stop. All right, you need out of my lap. You won't stop chewing. Out. Be gone. Damn, she almost pulled my headphones out completely. Is this article seriously gone? Sorry, there's a certain Acolyte article I wanted to cover. And it is gone. All right, I'm going to have to use a different article. That sucks. Because I linked it in a luckily I covered it before in a short on YouTube before it disappeared. But anyway, like I said, I got some good news, I got some bad news from TV land. Let's do the good news first. A show that I really like and I've been waiting on this for a while. Damn, cat hair. Resident Alien renewed for season 4 and changing networks. This is actually the best news possible for this show. Lots of big stuff. So, the sci-fi dark comedy starring Alan Tudyk is coming back for another season with one change. Get to the good stuff. So, it's shifting homes from sci-fi to USA Network. The idea is to expose the show to a broader audience, as USA Network tends to have a bit more reach than sci-fi. Resident Alien has also recently gotten an awareness boost from Netflix, picking up its first 2 seasons earlier this year. It's also on Peacock in full. That's how I watch it, because I don't have cable. Resident Alien stars Alan Tudyk as a crash-landed alien named Harry who tried to blend in with humans at a small Colorado town while hiding his secret mission to destroy humanity. The most recent 3rd season averaged 3.3 million total viewers across all platforms. By today's numbers, that's not horrible, especially for a show that was only on Sci-Fi. I'm assuming that's also adding in the Netflix. Well, no, it wouldn't be Netflix. They only got the first 2 seasons, but I'm assuming that's also adding in the Peacock views. That's okay. For a show that's obscure like this, that's actually not bad. I love Resident Alien. The first 3 seasons have been great. They left season 3 on a cliffhanger like they did with the first 2 seasons. I'm excited to see it come back. Let's see the article if they say where. I'm not going to go through this whole article. Nope, they don't say when. That's it. That's the end of the article. Going through who stars in it, who makes it, yada yada. It's based off a Dark Horse comic. Yeah. So I guess we'll have to wait and see when Harry and Resident Alien returns. This time to, like I said, a much bigger network on USA. I'm excited, man. Because I was waiting. I was waiting a long time for any word whatsoever about the return of Resident Alien, and here we are. So, if do you guys like Resident Alien? Is there anything anything like lingering questions that you're looking for to be answered? Uh, is there anything in particular you're looking forward to seeing? What did you think? Do you rank the first 3 seasons? How have they gone? I think I don't know. I think it's getting better. There are a few narrative choices. I don't know. The last season was up and down, I guess. There were some good parts, some bad parts. I didn't hate his girl, like the actress that plays his girlfriend, like some people did. Some people were very against that character as a whole, but I didn't hate it, especially because of the narrative where it's going. But that's a good TV news. Let me get hydrated here. My wife wants shrimp and rice for dinner. I'm just not in the mood for shrimp. I'm gonna look up on YouTube, see like unique ways to make it. Should be good. My wife is a pescatarian. She only eats seafood if she's gonna eat any meat. She eats a lot of fake meat. Here's a third cat making an appearance on the stream today. Lovey. Hi, Love. That's the one who mostly beats up on the cat or the dog. Hi, baby. She's daddy's girl. She's my little runt. Either way. Okay. Sorry. Sharing the next story. Bad news time. More delusional. Bad news as a Doctor Who fan, but it's kind of like delusional here. BBC, this is courtesy of Bounding into Comics. BBC refuses to acknowledge terrible Doctor Who ratings. Instead, boasts that series is their top drama for under 35s this year. Licious, get out of the way. They keep doing that like if anybody's a wrestling fan, AEW, their ratings are god awful. They're like, yeah, but we're number 1 in the demo. The demo, bro. Cool, bro. Even though the numbers clearly prove the fact, the BBC is refusing to acknowledge that showrunner Russell T Davies' latest run on Doctor Who was an absolute ratings disaster, which it definitely was. I've been covering that off and on, and you can watch my Doctor Who reviews on YouTube and Rumble. On YouTube, I have a whole playlist of it in order. You can go check that out. To the surprise of very few, the decision by its cast and crew to use the British sci-fi series as a vehicle for overtly socio-political messaging was not, to say the least, a winning one. Come on, baby. As cataloged by UK television analytics firm Barb, across its 8 total episodes, the 15th Doctor's debut only pulled in an objectively terrible average of 2 million overnight viewers, 3.5 million 7-day consolidated, the worst in the franchise's entire history. Yeah, so... And I know what I just said about 3.3 million being good for an obscure show like Resident Alien that was on Sci-Fi Network that they didn't expect to do very well. And then on Peacock, which I don't think is one of the most popular streaming services. This, however, is one of the most biggest sci-fi shows in history that off and on, if you want to trace its history back to the 1960s, it's huge. And this year it's on the BBC iPlayer, and it's on Disney freaking Plus. This was supposed to be huge for Doctor Who. The budget was way up. The graphics are much better than they've ever been throughout the history of Doctor Who. That was part of its. uh, I liked how that was the excuse. Oh, it's part of its charm in the past. And it kind of was, where the graphics were just god awful, because they had a small budget. But they're on Disney now. They have BBC and Disney money, and they still only raked in crappy ratings. Look at this. Episode 1, Space Babies. That episode sucked. Absolutely sucked. I did a review of that one and I'm like, ugh, gross. It just it there was some political messaging in it, but that's not why it sucked. It just sucked because I'm like, is this supposed to set the tone for the rest of the season? Because ew. And as you can see, after that abysmal performance, they released 2 episodes in the same day on their debut. The next one was The Devil's Cord, which I didn't hate that episode. I thought it was much better than the first. It had a lot of issues, but all in all, it was okay. It pulled in 3.91 million, so you lost a handful of people there, a couple 100,000. Episode 3, Boom, which just made the Doctor look like a complete moron, but they boasted, "Oh, it's technically only week 2." If you don't count the Christmas special, which was the Church on Ruby Road. This was the 3rd outing of Ncuti Gatwa, the 2nd week of him as the Doctor, him and Ruby Sunday as the companion. Boom, and they boasted it's the return of Stephen Moffat. He's teaming up with Russell T Davies for the first time, I believe, in Doctor Who, and they did Boom, and that episode was meh, super meh. Horrible political messaging, some good that I could get behind, but just like really overt, stupid political messaging. Plus, it made the Doctor look like an idiot. 3.57 million. 73 yards, which was creepy. It was a Dr. Light episode. He was like in the first scene and the last scene, and the rest of the show he wasn't in it. It was all Ruby. It was okay. Like I'll say this, it was really good up until the finale where they reveal what the hell is going on, and then you're like, that was extremely unsatisfying. I feel like that was most of the season, where like the buildup was great. It was like building up, building up, building up, and then like the reveals have been so lackluster isn't even the word for it. Just so many plot holes, and it's like sex that you're building up. Like the sex is pretty good, you're loving it, and then you don't get off, and you're just left with blue, you know what. Um, Dot and Bubble with the most insufferable effing characters we've met all season. They were supposed to be insufferable, but man, and the conclusion was super, just again, left you going, what? That one, horrible, 3.38, horrible episode. Rogue. That was the like the Doctor ran off and left his companion in a strange place with monsters running around so he could go have a love story with a dude. Cool story, bro. And he wasn't even the hero at the end of the episode. Sucked. Slight bump, 521 million. The Legend of Ruby Sunday. This is the last 2 episodes of the season. 3.495 million. I will say this, I didn't have many notes for The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I had a few notes for Empire of Death. Empire of Death was a finale of the season, and that was the biggest blue you know what of them all. Just epic. What? It fell flat. So many plot holes, so many unanswered questions, and some of them are like setups for future seasons, and some of them were just it's like, oh, you know why? Because F you, that's why. Like there's no payoff, or the payoff is just lame. Like, why is this going on? But Empire of Death, not reported yet. But I will say the last 2 episodes of the season, in my opinion, were the best. And this isn't a popular opinion, but I like the Devil's Cord. We finally figure out the one who waits, who the hell that is at the end of the episode. Yet, despite it performing worse than the original series, season 26, whose ratings were so bad that it led to Doctor Who being put on ice for almost a full 16 years. The Eighth Doctor's 1996 television film being the franchise's only official screen production during that time. The latest Doctor Who season continues to receive the full support of the BBC's PR machine. I will say, if you want to see the Doctor Who movie, it was very fantastical, less sci-fi, and I didn't hate it. I liked it. I actually cosplayed as the Eighth Doctor at a recent Comic-Con this year. Nobody knew who the hell I was. It was fairly obscure. If you want to see that movie, it's in full on YouTube. You can watch the entire thing on YouTube. It's because it's not on any streaming service, so they get away with just posting the whole damn thing. The season of Doctor Who premiered on iPlayer nearly 24 hours before broadcast, and episode 1 has already been viewed by nearly 6 million viewers and continues to grow. Really? Doctor Who remains one of the most watched programs. Oh, God. So British to spell that with 2 M's and an ES. Like, stop it. Like color with a U. On iPlayer, and is the BBC's top drama for under 35s this year, making it one of the biggest programs for the demographic across all streamers and broadcasters. Cope. It was not good. It was a very, especially for all the advantages they gave Doctor Who, for all the leg ups, for the bigger budget, everything. The first black gay doctor, Russell T Davies, returns to steer the ship. We're on Disney Plus, yada, yada. This was such a disappointment in every way. And they're coping and seething. And they're making excuses because they want to make it, they have to make it seem like a success. It can't not be a success. They basically did a full reboot like they did. If anybody's been a Doctor Who fan as long as I have been, they damn near did a full reboot when Stephen Moffat took over the show from Russell T Davies and David Tennant regenerated into Matt Smith. It was from 10 to 11 Doctors, that is. They damn near did a full reboot of the show. It looked different. It had a bigger budget, had a different showrunner, a different doctor, just everything. New companions, different opening, everything. They did that again with Ncuti Gatwa and Russell T Davies on Disney Plus, and it still was just a colossal failure. It wasn't as bad as Jodie Whittaker, only because they've got Disney behind it now, and Disney won't let it be that colossal of a failure. Like, more eyeballs are going to be on it, but only slightly more. That's the biggest thing. This is Doctor Who. Like, Doctor Who was known and loved in America, but nowhere near like it is now being on Disney Plus. This was Doctor Who's coming out party to America on Disney Plus, and it sucked. And people are walking away going, so this is it? This is Doctor Who? Come on, kitty. Bad all the way around. And BBC can cope all they want. They've been coping with it for ever since Jodie Whittaker took over, because she was the first female doctor. And her historic run had historic lows. Lower than when they canceled the damn thing back in the 80s under Sylvester McCoy as the seventh Doctor. By the way, I like Sylvester McCoy. I liked his doctor. I'm actually going to cosplay as him later down the road. If anybody is a classic Who fan of old Who, can somebody explain to me why his companion Ace called him Professor? I don't get that one. Nobody in the history of Doctor Who has ever called him anything but Doctor. But Ace called him Professor. She was also, they brought her back for an episode of, if anybody's seen the BBC exclusive Tales of the TARDIS. I think he had 2 companions during his run, but Ace was the most well-known, and she came back for that. Excuse me. And she called him Professor. I kind of want the story behind that. I should probably watch from the beginning of his run. I joined kind of in the middle. I'm picking and choosing around. I've seen Tom Baker so far, and he's like everybody's choice of like, oh, he's the quintessential Doctor. He's the best Doctor. I don't know. I don't see it. He's a little odd, and I know the Doctor is supposed to be odd. I hate the sixth Doctor. He's just an insufferable ass throughout the whole thing, and he's like a sociopath. He's unlikable in every way, and I like the actor. I think his look is kind of cool. It's colorful and flashy. He sucked as far as like, he didn't suck because he sucked. He sucked because of the script they gave him. I kind of feel like Peter Capaldi suffered from a little bit of that. His the scripts they gave him under Chris Chibnall were just poop. He had some good episodes. Let's get into everybody's favorite show, The Acolyte. Speaking of bad news, The Acolyte viewership declines for a second week in a row, nearly 60% decline from Ahsoka. And they're acting like, dude, Disney, you want to talk about coping and seething. Disney is pretending like this is a huge hit and a huge success. What? Girl, where? Like, I need to know what the hell is going on in their brains where they think we're all idiots is the problem. This chick that you see on the screen right here, Amandla, such a stupid name, Amandla Stenberg. She plays both the she plays twins, and she's a Jedi and a Sith. And this is her Sith version. You can tell because she's in all black. She gives herself a lightsaber haircut in a recent episode. They also have a female thirst trap with the main baddie in like the most recent episode. And I'm just like seeing people like post clips of it online. He like comes out of the water with like shirtless. I noticed Disney allows that to happen, like with Thor. But women, no, they can't be eye candy ever. Never show off a female's feminine wiles. No, but a man can be half naked, or in Thor's case, full naked. And you just have the camera, just so. Like, if it's such a double standard, if you're gonna have it for one, have it for both, or don't have it at all. But viewership for The Acolyte has declined for the second week in a row, according to data shared by analytics firm Luminate. As reported by Variety, viewership for The Acolyte declined to 232.2 million minutes watched for a week. The show's 5th episode debuted. That's a decline of 11% from the previous week, which had a total of 262 million minutes watched. Of note, the runtime for both the 4th and 5th episodes are nearly identical. The 4th episode has a runtime of 34 minutes and 2 seconds, while the 5th episode's runtime is 35 minutes and 5 seconds. Hot damn, Bridgerton whooping everybody's ass. I don't know if anybody can see that. It goes Bridgerton, America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. Never heard of it. Perfect Wife, The Mysterious Disappearance of Sherry Popany. Okay. Perfect Match, The Boys, Love Island, Presumed Innocence, Bridgerton again, The Acolyte, and then Bridgerton again. Are those reruns? Damn. Percentage change, 11% for the Acolyte. Pew. Suck. The show hit its peak viewership with the release of its third episode, which introduced lesbian space witches, as well as a replacement for the Force called Thread. Viewership for the week. The third episode debuted, topped 380.5 million. The least viewed week was the show's premiere week. The two episodes premiered only brought in 210 million minutes. Bro, who are the people watching this? I'm not seeing anything positive, and they try to pretend like, oh, it's just the chuds that don't like this show. It's just the sexist, racist, toxic Star Wars fans that we always hear so much about. It's not toxic Star Wars fans when everybody hates it, man. There's no review bombing. People just aren't watching this garbage. Nobody cares, bro. And I get the people in my comments. The only people that comment on YouTube are people that want to whine and moan at you. I will admit I've had a lot of positive comments on my YouTube videos about Star Wars that are like, well, positive towards what I'm saying, not positive towards Star Wars, but they're like, haven't watched Star Wars since Disney bought it, or I dropped out a long time ago. Nobody's watching this crap, all that kind of stuff. But I also see a lot of people, cope harder, blah, blah, blah. And they're just, quit your crying or whatever, because they want to come in and destroy they want to destroy the fandoms that people love and hold dear, like Doctor Who that I talked about earlier. And then when you don't like it, they're like, oh, cry harder. Like, how about you ruin your own crap? Quit coming into fandoms, completely changing it. And then when people don't like it, you're like, oh, get over it. Okay. You're just mad because these people that do this have zero creativity. They can't come up with anything on their own. So they take beloved IP that was built up and made beloved because of the originality and time and love spent building it up. Like, nobody had a problem with that, and I pointed this out in previous videos. Nobody had a problem with women in Star Wars. They just don't like this crap. And when every single Star Wars property is now led by a woman, even in Obi-Wan, you had Princess Leia, who looked like 5 years younger than, and I'm not crapping on the actress, but she looked 5 years younger than she actually was. And okay, she's sassing Obi-Wan throughout the whole thing, running away from him, and just even the little girl is girl bossing all over the place. Then you had the other British Indian actress that she's in like Game of Thrones. She was in a recent. She was in the episode Rogue of Doctor Who. She's been in a bunch of things, but either way, she was in it, girl bossing, and just Obi-Wan was a sad old man. And it wasn't until he had a battle with Darth Vader. It was the only cool part about that whole show. It was so bad. That whole show, that whole series was bad. And now you got the Acolyte. Nobody wanted it. Nobody asked for it. Look at these ratings. These are out of 10. Episode 1, 5.3 out of 10. Episode 2, 5.1. Episode 3, 3.5. Episode 4, 4.7. Episode 5, 6.7. Yeah. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter the night or the day, whatever, that episode 5 dropped, just going on, oh my God, it's so good. And they're posting clips of fight scenes where it's just like a cluster orgy of lightsabers. And I'm like, okay. To be fair, I heard that the fight choreography is pretty good for this show, but I don't care. Who cares? You need to have more than that. You need to have some story behind it. Oh, yeah, the Acolyte actor Manny Jacinto claims 6th episode of show will be a new story with new motivations for all of the different characters. What sense does that make? You're 6 episodes in to a show that's probably not gonna get renewed, bro. God, I know you gotta sell it, but why? Every decision made on the show is so dumb. Dumb to dumb, dumb, dumb. All right, baby. Don't walk on my keyboard. But yeah, so anyway, the Acolyte, wrapping up the Acolyte news with. Sorry, I'm trying to close all these stupid in-page ads. This one I'll make real quick about it. Every week I go on some long rant about the Acolyte, and I need to stop. I'll stop when the show stops and there's less news. But the truth to the rumors that the Acolyte has already been canceled. We get to the bottom of it by Stylecaster. I did have a story from MSN, but apparently they deleted it or something. I don't know. The Acolyte is another installment of Disney Plus to expand blah 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 blah. Average of it's been well received by critics, but absolutely trashed by audiences with an average of 1.5 stars on Google reviews. I think that one's out of 5. Does this mean that it's been canceled before it's even finished its season 1 run? There are a lot of rumors to unpack. They cite that Park Place, an unnamed source, supposedly from Lucasfilm, saying Leslie Headland's The Acolyte is DOA unless there's a miracle of ratings. This is a one and done proposition, he explained. It looks to me like John Knoll is no longer going to be actively meeting with Headland to collaborate on season 2. We're not sure how this particular outlet vets their sources, FYI. I will admit some stuff out of that Park Place is a little exaggerated, or only half true. The insider said that the show's alleged cancellation wasn't because of aggressive trolls that flooded the trailer on YouTube with negative comments and more than 500,000 dislikes. For now, the negative reaction for the trailer is being labeled as aggressive trolls, irrelevant to the market, they said. So is the Acolyte canceled? Not officially, no. Disney Plus has neither confirmed nor denied the show will continue. Showrunner Leslie Headland may have hinted at the existence of a second season when she revealed that a major plot point, the Sith Lord, had been reserved for season 2, but the actor's screen test was so good, they fast-tracked it. Sure. I've heard him called Smilo Ren, by the way, because his stupid-ass mask has a giant smile on it, and he kind of looks like a better looking version of Kylo Ren. But yeah, and it goes on about his screen test. There's another way to interpret this, though. Headland could also be saying that a season 2 no longer exists, which is why they bumped up the big reveal. They're talking about if there's a season 2. But he also wants freedom for a second level that I think we'll get more into if we get a season 2. Yeah. So, not looking the best for the Acolyte. Yeah, fast tracking the major storyline that you set up for a season 2. You can say, "Oh, well, his screen test was so good." That means absolutely nothing. You could have continued that into a second season and built up intrigue, and they would have if there was actual intrigue. Nobody cared. Nobody's watching this effing show. And I see all the, like I mentioned earlier, I'm seeing positive comments on Twitter the day that episode 5 dropped, proving that Twitter is not real life. I see that with political stuff all the time. You'd think it's like this mass audience that thinks a certain way politically, because they're the chuds that keep commenting, or that only comment like displeasure, or like if their side does something that they like, they'll be like, "Oh, I got a tweet about this." And oh, I got to retweet El Presidente and talk about how much I hate the other side, or if something doesn't go my way. And you think it's this massive audience when really it's like a small percentage of people in America. That's the way it is with the Acolyte, it seems, because the ratings are not good. All reports we're getting about the Acolyte are just bad. And you look at the ratings on everything, and they always, every time, blame it on review bombing, but then at the end of the day, they end up canceling most of this stuff. The only thing that they really went full steam ahead with, and they keep doing it, and it's not an IP I care about at all, I've never been a fan of this, was Star Trek. All of their new shows have just been abysmal and bombed, and the rating, like the fan ratings online have sucked. The viewership has not been good. But they keep going full steam ahead with all these different new seasons of Star Trek shows and spin-offs and whatever else. And I did hear that the last season, the finale, like the final season of Picard, was good. But everything before that was just horse crap. I don't know why I keep every stream I try to say horse garbage and it doesn't make any sense. It was horse crap until like the last season. But what was the one with Sasha from The Walking Dead in it? That one was awful. Everybody hated it, but they kept going with more seasons and more seasons, and they made her Space Jesus. They retconned all of Star Trek to make her the big hero of the galaxy and whatever, because of course black girl magic. I don't know, but they're going to keep going full steam ahead with this. I guarantee they're going to cancel it unless they're that dense. Ahsoka got a season 2, and this is doing worse than Ahsoka, which I everybody was like, really? Ahsoka's getting a season 2 after the crap ratings that it pulled in? And this is worse. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Not looking good. Final television, half movie, half television story. Something else, I brought him up earlier that he can't finish his damn book series. He's been working on one book for 11 years, going on 12, but he can damn sure work on this. I have not watched the latest episode of House of the Dragon. Going to do that tonight. I actually, for the first time in years, my wife and I wanted to see the new episodes of Kaiju number 8 so bad, the last two, and they're not releasing the dubbed versions of the season, the final 2 episodes of the season, for another like week or two. And I was like, wait, why? They always did simulcast until the recent 2 episodes. And they're like, gotta wait like an extra month. And I'm like, why? So we wanted to watch it so bad. We love Kaiju number 8. So episodes 11 and 12 to finish out the season, we watched it subtitled. So, and they were really good. If anybody wants to watch, wants a great new anime to watch, I did a whole video on it, and I compared it to Attack on Titan. It's fantastic. It's great. One commenter said that the manga falls off after a while, but that's open to interpretation. Personal opinion. But anyway, George R.R. Martin teases Elden Ring movie or TV series. What rumor? Hot on the heels of the release of DLC Shadow of the Erd Tree, which I'll get into here in a bit. Positive news on that. George R.R. Martin has teased an Elden Ring movie or TV show. In a post on his blog, because the doofus can post a million blogs. He can work on different video games and books and little tabletop books and crap like that. But the turd can't finish his biggest series that put him on the map, A Song of Ice and Fire. He can't finish that. He's been working on for 11 freaking years. But either way, in a post on his blog, the Game of Thrones author wrote about winning awards, and in doing so, strongly suggested an adaptation of From Software's masterpiece is indeed in the works. Quote, "Oh, and about those rumors you may have heard about a feature film or television series based on Elden Ring. I didn't know that was a thing until I read this article. Was that really an article or a rumor? Was that really uh, was that through the grapevine? Was that the word out in the streets? Somebody needs to fill me in, or is he just talking out his ass?" He said, "I have nothing to say." He said, okay, then why address it? Not a word. Nope, not a thing. I know nothing. You never heard a peep from me. Mum. What rumor? Okay, so he's being an ass about it. He's joking around, whatever, but he's basically saying, "Yep, it's gonna happen." Which cool. I'm all in. It's still in my list, my queue, bro, of video games. I've got the list of video games I'm gonna buy here really soon. Goes Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy X. I've never played any Final Fantasy game. So, and I heard those are like the two most popular, 7 and 10. They're actual sequels to those ones. So I want to play them. They look great. I love anime. I love video games. It's a good combo. And right below that is Devil May Cry. So gonna get into those. I'm probably gonna be Dante for Galaxy Quest or Galaxy Con later this year. But as George R. R. Martin stated in a blog post, the famed fantasy author did the world building for Elden Ring, whereas From Software chief Hidetaka Miyazaki and his team did all the rest. Now it does indeed seem like an Elden Ring movie or TV series is actually happening. George R. R. Martin will likely be involved in some capacity, probably in like design, and he'll probably be like a producer. But like he said, he just world builded, which is a big thing. But from the looks of it, and I could be wrong, somebody will have that knows more will have to tell me. It looks, especially when it's called Elden Ring, and just the looks of it from everything I've seen from trailers and gameplay and whatever, it looks like a dark version of like a darker version of Lord of the Rings. Am I wrong? Am I way off base with that? Somebody needs to fill me in, because that's what it looks like to me. Which I love Lord of the Rings, my favorite story of all time, my favorite trilogy of all time. It should have won all the awards, just all of them, but sadly it didn't. An Elden Ring movie has often come up as a possibility, with fans pondering how it might be adapted. Yeah, I think if done the right way, it could be almost as big as Lord of the Rings, and it could be freaking awesome. Everybody loves Elden Ring. Everybody. I haven't seen one person except for the filthy casuals who aren't real gamers. They're the gaming journalists who excuse me, didn't want to sneeze in your ear. Sorry about that. The gaming urinalists that aren't real gamers and just freaking suck. Get good, bro. And they're always whining and complaining. It's too hard. Why can't they make it easier? Just like Dark Souls, they did the same damn thing. Like, dude, get good or don't play, man. Tell me you suck without telling me you suck. Whatever. Either way. I hate gaming journalists, by the way. 99% of them are worthless not real gamer, political activist with pink hair. And let's see, can I pull up a good picture here? I have a good picture for y'all as a representation. Image. Let's see. I have it in a couple of my videos. Here's exactly who I'm talking about. These kind of people. Top. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Right up there. I'm gonna leave that up for a little while, or think Alyssa Mercanti. If you don't know who that is, Google it. I've done quite a few videos on her. That's enough of that. Let's get back to this article just a little bit. He would be open. Miyazaki himself revealed recently that he would be open to an adaptation of the studio's 25 million selling 2022 action role-playing game, but only if a very strong partner would come into play. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Like, you should just see dollar bills, y'all. I don't see any reason to deny another interpretation or adaptation of Elden Ring, a movie, for example, explained Miyazaki in an interview with The Guardian. But I don't think myself or From Software have knowledge or ability to produce something in a different medium. Yeah, I get that. Don't, stick with what you're good at. So that's where a very strong partner would come into play, continued Miyazaki. We'd have to build a lot of trust and agreement on whatever it is we're trying to achieve, but there's interest for sure. If I had my druthers about it, I would say I would pick Universal. With this might be, well, it will be very unpopular with a lot of people. My backup would be WBD, Warner Bros. Discovery. I think they have the Lord of the Rings IP. I think they could do well with Elden Ring IP. But like I said, Universal, I think, stands atop the heap with all movies nowadays. And I think they'd be good. Paramount would be another decent one. They're hit and miss sometimes, but they're good. But yeah, Universal, I vote. Let's get into anime. I have one anime story, and it's heartbreaking. They just released the first dubbed episode of Demon Slayer for the new season, by the way. I'm super amped. My wife and I just watched it. It's great. I did not like the last season, To the Swordsmith Village. It was not good. Not good, bad. Or not good. Believe me, not good. Let's go to this. This saddens me, but I'm still looking forward to it. Demon Slayer anime to end with epic movie trilogy. By the way, I finally Googled a while ago what, because it's called Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. I looked up what Kimetsu no Yaiba translates to in English, and it's just Demon Slayer. So the show is literally called Demon Slayer, Demon Slayer. I don't know why. Why do you have it twice, bro? Why twice, bro? But whatever. Either way. It's official. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba is returning to theaters, and it will be bringing a movie trilogy with it shortly. After all, the hit anime is nearing its finale, and the show will adapt its final saga into a 3-film franchise. By the way, this one is one that we were so anticipating it, and I was so looking forward to it. But the reason, like how I said with we were willing to watch Kaiju number 8 subbed. I will not do that with Demon Slayer because we love the voice actors. I love all the voice actors, especially the guy who does a voice for uh God, I keep forgetting his name. Uh, uh Shoot. I'm not going to tell you his name now. That's bad because I love the Inosuke Hashibira. That's it. The guy with the boar head. I love his voice because he was also Aaron Yeager, and he's the main voice. I haven't watched the show in a while, so forgive me for forgetting this guy's name too. Rin, excuse me, the main character from Blue Exorcist. He's one of our favorite anime voice actors ever, especially for Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan. But he's now Inosuke Hashibira, and he's fantastic. I love the voice of Tanjiro. I'm really attached to the English dub voice actors for Demon Slayer, so I refuse to watch it subbed. Same thing for Attack on Titan. We loved the voice actors, so we're just not doing that. Or we didn't do that. We waited like a year for those last two specials because we refused to watch it subbed. Anyway, wrapping this up. It's official. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no I already read that. Oh, or maybe did I read that? Yeah, I did. Okay. Rewind. Sorry. The official reveal comes today. This was an older article. On the heels of Demon Slayer's latest season finale, the anime returned this spring with season 4, and the Hashira training arc has been intense to say the least. Today, the season came to a close with an extended finale, and Crunchyroll announced Demon Slayer's movie trilogy for good measure. He's in the Infinite Mansion right there. The all-out war begins. All the Hashiras are there. We can never remember her name. Me and my wife call her Tits because they're out throughout the whole series. I love every character, every Hashira. This guy is a giant Richard. I don't like him. I mean, he's an interesting character, but he's a giant Richard. He's definitely an anti-hero. Currently, no release date has been given for the Demon Slayer movies, but is it UFO table or UFO table? Somebody with more knowledge will have to tell me. Is hard at work on the trilogy. Crunchyroll and Sony Pictures Entertainment will distribute the movies globally, save for select Asian markets. So hopefully fans will not have to wait long before Demon Slayer hits up theaters with its next film release. I'm sad because it's ending. After Attack on Titan, it's my favorite anime of all time. And it's been so good. Last season was meh, but still, a lot of backstory was revealed, lots of mystery boxes. I love Demon Slayer. It's so freaking good. I really so badly wanted to see it in theaters this last time. My wife was going through some really bad migraine issues. She still is. But she just couldn't. Every time we wanted to go see it in theaters for like 2 weeks, she was having sickness and migraines, whatever. She was really going through it. Now she regrets it and is like, I wish I would have powered through it and just went and saw it because, oh man. And it was this season, but mashed into a movie, kind of like what they did with Mugen Train. Technically, I think that was season 2, I want to say. Excuse me. Yeah, that was season 2. Mugen Train was so good. Entertainment District was really good too. It took me a few episodes to really get into it, but it was fantastic, and that ended up being my wife's favorite too. To the Swordsmith Village was such a weak follow up to it, but it was still really good. And only one dubbed episode has come out so far for the Hashira training arc, but so far so great. I'm really loving what they're setting up. I love all the Hashira. I want to learn more about them. I want to see more training for Zenitsu, Inosuke, obviously Tanjiro. I'm not going to give a spoiler for Nezuko, but she's got a lot going on this season. It's really good. If you haven't watched yet and you want to watch, or you want to binge it before these movies come out, great. I want to be front and center. Hopefully, my wife learned her lesson, and we will be like right there, like a child on opening weekend of a Disney film, front and center watching this in theaters. All three movies, man. Very, very amped and excited. Good stuff, man. But again, very sad that it's all ending with this movie trilogy. That's the only anime story I got. If you guys haven't figured out, this is going to. I always intend for this to go like an hour and a half, and it goes way longer all the time. I've got a bit of a spicy story for you all here, involving everyone's feminist turf author. The right latched onto her because she said some base things on a certain sect of people. But she is not a righty whatsoever. She's a hardcore leftist feminist. But it's just this one issue. Just this one. Oh, I'm going to try to word this in a way so I don't get kicked off of all platforms except for Rumble. Real quick here. Sorry, I didn't want to cough in your ear. Hydration. All right, anyway. Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling lampoons Doctor Who actor, my favorite doctor of all time, David Tennant, as a gender tally. Not good person from the Middle East who does some bad acts in the name of radical ideology. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter novels, lampoon Doctor Who actor David Tennant is being a member of the gender tallies. Rowling comments came in the wake of Tennant wishing the British politician Kemi Badenoch doesn't exist anymore. I don't know who that is, but that's pretty harsh language, man. This kind of breaks my heart that David Tennant is such a radical. During an acceptance speech for the British LGBT Awards, why do they have awards? Yay, you get an award for thinking that butt stuff is cool. I don't know. Do I still have? Give me a second here. I don't think I have that one. No. Okay. The LGBT awards, where they award people for liking. Are you gonna play?
Butt stuff, butt stuff, butt stuff.
Butt stuff. Cowboy butt sex.
There you go. But anyway, Tennant stated, quote, with a slogan, I attract the ire of the occasional online idiot, but I don't have social media, so even I have to be told about that by my brilliant wife, Georgia, who is the real engine behind anything we do. She educates me about empathy and understanding, and she has been a huge educator for me. Oh, God. Of course, it's his wife. And David Tennant bringing one of my favorite actors of all time, giving a bad name to real Scottish men everywhere, and I'm 1/4 Scottish, so I get to say that. Beta. He then stated, but I think if I'm honest, I'm a little depressed by the fact that acknowledging that everyone has the right to be who they want to be and live their life how they want to live it, as long as they're not hurting anybody else, should merit any kind of special award or special mention, because it's common sense, isn't it? It is human decency. We shouldn't live in a world where that is worth remarking on. I can only comment so much on all of this because of people like David Tennant, and as my favorite term for it has come courtesy of Melanie Mack. If anybody knows who she is, I did a video on Alyssa Mercanti of what's Kotaku trash organization, coming after her too. She calls them cancel pigs, and it very much is that way. But I mean, it depends on your definition of hurting anyone, man. Plus, it comes out, why do we need a whole rainbow month? We only honor our veterans one day. We honor dead veterans one day. We honor mothers and fathers one day. We, like, Christians only honor our Lord and Savior for 2 days out of the calendar year. I mean, as far as holidays go, we honor him every day, but as far as holidays, we only honor him 2 days. You get a whole freaking month to honor
Butt stuff, butt stuff, butt stuff.
Butt stuff. Cowboy butt sex.
It's, I don't know, man. And then the comments I get on YouTube are just disgusting. Oh, heaven forbid you don't like that kind of stuff. Then, and you can call me an ist and a phobe all you want. I will welcome it. I don't care. Your words mean absolutely nothing to me. And again, like I said, what he said, it really depends on your definition of hurting anyone. Does it hurt society in the long run? I guess that's debatable by some people. And you've went far, like, even if I was inclined to be the live and let live kind of libertarian style, you've gone so far in the other direction, and this kind of stuff is so insufferable. My God. Quit playing victim. That's what pisses me off the most, is you just play a victim so much. Gross, man. Like, grow up. Either way. Finishing up here really quickly. Next, David Tennant wished British politician Kemi Badenoch, who is the Women and Equalities Minister. What the hell? What the hell kind of position is that? But anyway, did not exist. He said, however, until we wake up and Kemi Badenoch doesn't exist anymore, calling for her deletion? That's what it sounds like to me. People like David Tennant would say that's a threat to her life. I don't wish ill of her, even though you said you don't wish she existed anymore. I just wish her to shut up. Backpedal. Whilst we do live in a world, I am honored to receive this. I am thrilled to be here and be a part of this night. I don't care. Shut up, David. After the speech, he did an interview where he was asked why he decided to defend disordered lifestyles. He said, quote, I don't know if I feel like I've done anything that I wouldn't sort of normally be doing. Oh, Lord. And then he drops the F-bomb at the end of it. Everybody just needs to effing butt out. David Dennett. David. Let's see. I don't know who this person is. I don't think I could dislike him more than I already did, but after watching this interview he gave after that speech, it seemed I absolutely can. Trigger warning, this will probably make you quite angry. Posted that. J.K. Rowling. Let's see. Like Billy Bragg said, in no other circumstances would the BBC be referring to a privileged white man wishing for a female black leading politician and daughter of immigrants to shut up and not exist as a mere row. J.K. Rowling retweeted that and said, but the utterance of the gender tallies receives special dispensation, for they are a holy caste. Yep. Sunak wades into Badenoch row with actor David Tennant. She added 2 days later, this man is talking about R-word survivors who want female-only care. The nurses currently suing their health trust for making them change in front of a man. Girls and women losing sporting opportunities to males and female prisoners incarcerated with convicted S offenders. Yeah. David Tennant called them whiners and whatever. Yikes. It goes on, but that is Doctor Who versus Harry Potter, essentially. Just wow. Strong words from both people. David Tennant started off with the name calling and the coping and the seething and he's the epitome of does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say the Wojak of the he's like crying behind a smiling mask. See if I can pull that up. Ugh. Here we go. They have it in reverse too. That's funny. Here we go. That's David Tennant right about now. What the F is that? Yeah. Thanks, David, for proving how much of an ass you are. People can defend him all they want, but that was a really effed up thing to say about a lot of people. Very effed up. All right, this one, a little less controversial. And not shocking in the least. Redbox parent company Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment. Wow, that's a throwback. Are those books even coming out anymore? Files for bankruptcy. The parent company reportedly owes almost $1 billion to creators, including Walmart, Vizio, and major movie studios. Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, the parent company to Redbox, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. They told employees over the weekend the company's cash flow issues became a full-blown crisis recently when reports emerged that the company was unable to make payroll and that they have failed to make insurance payments, thus defaulting on their responsibilities to their employees and leaving workers without health care. This comes as other reports suggested that the payments to studios were in arrears, leading to Redbox kiosks that were partially empty or filled with Chicken Soup for the Soul exclusives that don't cost the company anything. I don't know what I can't imagine what those would be. They probably do. I mean, Tubi has their own exclusives, I guess. So, Chapter 11 is a type of bankruptcy that allows. I don't care. So there you go. According to an SEC filing in June, Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment said that its losses in 2023 were over $600 million, up from $111 million per year before. Ay. Redbox has been running a streaming platform since December 2017. I know that because my mom uses it occasionally. She has in the past, at least. I think she still does. So the last time I used a Redbox was 2 years. Yeah, 3 years ago, because I'm going on my 8th wedding anniversary. And 3 years ago for our 5th wedding anniversary, we went to, if anybody knows where Hocking Hills, Ohio is, and we rented a nice cabin. But out there, you get nothing as far as like cell phone service. You get no data. Like I have unlimited data on my phone. You get none of that. The cabins do not have Wi-Fi, which blew me away. I'm like, how in 2020? Well, that's like I said, that was 3 years ago. So 2021. How in the year 2021 did you not have Wi-Fi for your guests? Like that was shocking to me. It's the guy from I used this video meme a lot from Casablanca, where the officer comes in. I'm shocked. Now, there's gambling going on here. It's crazy. But either way, we knew that before we went out there. We just wanted to kind of get away, have some time to ourselves. There was a hot tub, blah, blah, blah. And we got a little bored because we thought there'd be more to do. I didn't do enough research. There's nothing to do in Chillicothe and Hocking Hills unless you want to pay to go horseback riding, you want to hike, or if you want to go to an antique store. There's not even any cool restaurants out there. There was one that was halfway decent that I had to get a reservation at, and I splurged a little bit for our anniversary. And I don't know. I was not impressed with their performance. And we went to a Redbox, and it was, to say the least, unimpressive. So to be out there like that area. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted with a few things. Had a error message pop up on my computer. But it was, to say the least, just like it was crazy because I'm like, we have no other alternative. We had a DVD player at least in the cabin, and we took full advantage of that by going to, like, they had one Redbox in the area. I'm like, well, this is it. And we rented a movie. It was one that we were like, it's the best of the worst. It's all they got. So we went with that. And that was the last time I had used Redbox. The first time in, I don't know, close to a decade. I used to use Redbox like when it first came out, but that was it. All right, let's transition to gaming. A couple things here. I said earlier I had one more story specifically about the Elden Ring DLC. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Bandai Namco reveals Elden Ring DLC Shadow of the Erd Tree sells over 5 million copies in just 3 days. This is from June 27th, so about 6 days ago. Publisher Bandai Namco Entertainment announces in a press release from or that From Software DLC for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree surpassed 5 million copies sold in just 3 days. Moist Critical recently played this and said it was quite difficult. Then again, I heard the whole game is quite difficult. I'm a mid-level gamer. I'm not trash, but I'm not great at all, like by any means. And I feel like this is going to frustrate me to the point of where I put it away. I still have not finished, excuse me, the first Zelda game for Switch, Breath of the Wild. Haven't finished it yet. I got stuck on a certain part of Jedi Fallen Order that I can't freaking get past. And yeah, it just, I don't know. I have a feeling I might buy this and get frustrated and never play it again after like 3 hours. I'm also stuck on a certain part of Cyberpunk 2077. I hit a wall with games, and eventually I get past it. Except Kingdom Hearts is the only one I've given up, not because I can't get past it, but it's, I don't know. I don't like it. I thought I would like it a lot more than I did. So I ordered, they had like it's called The Story So Far, and it's like all the games up until the brand new one remastered in a pack together. I'm proud of myself. I beat the first 2 Uncharted games. Those were good and entertaining. I think I did medium difficulty. Somebody that plays more of Elden Ring will have to tell me, is there difficulty levels, or are you just on beast mode the whole time? I would like to know before I order the damn thing. The press release states Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc. and From Software Company Limited are pleased to announce that Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree downloadable content for the action RPG Elden Ring, which the two companies are jointly developing, has surpassed cumulative worldwide sales of 5 million copies in the 3 days since its release. Shadow of the Erd Tree released on June 21st. Hasn't there been a couple DLC things? Alleged Persona 6 information claims to reveal details about the game's 2 protagonists. Blah, blah, blah. I don't play Persona. The game also posted on X to the many who tread the path left by kindly Michaela, excuse me. We extend our heartfelt gratitude. An attached image stated 5 million tarnished in the realm of shadows. Cool. The Witcher 3, I didn't hit a wall, and Ghost of Tsushima, I didn't hit a wall. I just walked away from them. I have to finish Ghost of Tsushima. It's so good. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is also really good. I don't know. My gaming time has been so limited. I used to game when my wife would game, and she fell out of gaming for a while, and so I fell out of gaming for a while. I don't know, but I need to get back into it when she buries her face in TikTok. Since the DLC released, the game saw a huge spike in the numbers of players, as reported by SteamDB on June 22nd. It hit 781,261 concurrent players. While the peak has declined since then, it's still going strong with a 24-hour peak of 484,319 concurrent players. The all-time concurrent player peak was 2 years ago, with almost 1 million people playing at the same time. It hit 953,426 players. The original game was an instant success, selling 12 million copies within a month. A press release from Software detailed at the time Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc. and From Software Inc. co-developed the brand new action RPG Elden Ring. Has sold more than 1 million units in Japan and 12 million units worldwide. They go on to talk about all this stuff. Earlier this month, From Software announced that Elden Ring itself had shipped more than 25 million copies worldwide. The company posted on X, Elden Ring has shipped over 25 million copies worldwide. Thank you to everyone who has played the game. It looks fantastic. I'm really good. Looking forward to getting into it. Wintertime, I generally game more. Yep. So I'm looking forward to doing that and ordering that soon. My job as incentives during our busy season in the winter or fall rather, gives incentives, and like as far as Amazon gift cards as incentives. So I usually use those to order games and Christmas presents. I think I'm going to this year as well. So that's coming. Once I get those, I'll definitely be diving more headfirst into gaming again. Like I said, I need to finish there. I'm not the only one. There are seriously memes about it where it's like, uh, uh, jeez Louise. There are seriously memes about it where it's like you see the drowning kid in the pool. That's like my pile of games that I've not beaten, and then it shows like them lifting one kid out of the water. An adult's lifting a kid out of the water. It's like a brand new game, and I've done that. I started so many. I need to finish the Nathan Drake series with Uncharted. I bought them all. There's I can't remember what it's called. The Nathan Drake saga or something like that. You can get the first 3 games in a pack, and then you get I bought the 4th one because it was on sale for Black Friday. And I still have the last 2. I beat the first 2, need to beat the last 2. Getting into this here. Not much meat on the bone, but let's get into it. Nintendo says that it's working to stop leaks of games. Nintendo knows about all the online leaks surrounding its games and hardware development and is working to prevent them from continuing. During its annual shareholders meeting on Thursday, Nintendo commented on the leaks for the first time publicly when asked about it during Q&A sections of the meeting. We've become aware of the specific issues pointed out through media reports and other sources, Nintendo said, as translated by N Styles on Twitter. We work with specialist companies to diagnose information security to take various other measures. The company has introduced information security management as part of its internal information security systems and is also working to continue on continuous education for employees. The leaks have come from various sources within Nintendo, as it was recently revealed by one well-known leaker, Pyoro, that their source was from a Nintendo of Japan employee. It was also uncovered that Google employees on the YouTube side of the business had been able to access private Nintendo videos in order to get information out to leakers. And that's the end there. Yeah. So my former co-host, like I said, that passed away sadly last December, Greg. I might be flipping this, but he said, "You come for the mouse," meaning Disney and Mickey Mouse. He said they come for your head. You go for the plumber, meaning Mario with Nintendo. They come for your soul. And that's very true. Like I said, I might be flip reversing that, but it's true what I said because Nintendo don't play, brah. Homie don't play that. You come for Nintendo, you leak anything, they will straight up suck your soul out of your body and not think twice. They are hard effing core, man. They will they'll make sure you don't see the light of day. You're going to jail. You're going to straight to jail right away. No trial, no nothing. If anybody's a fan of Parks and Rec, you get that joke. It's I've seen this before where they put out these public statements like if anybody's seen Dana White of the UFC when he talks about streamers that pirate the feed of UFC events. And he's like, "We will come for your soul. We will rip your heart out of your body and make you eat it. We'll make sure you rot in jail for the rest of your life. I'll bend you over with no lube." And all that kind of stuff. And it never happens with him. Like, They caught maybe 1 or 2 guys, but it's always a threat. We know who you are, effer. We're coming for you. Nintendo actually does it. This is not Nintendo. It's another Japanese company, or multiple Japanese publishers, I should say, that did this recently. I had a story about this where there was this huge manga leaker website. Manga is for those that don't know, the Japanese version of comic books. They're all in black and white for some reason. Kind of like The Walking Dead was all in black and white, no color, if anybody knows that. But yeah, there was this website that was huge into leaking manga and pirating it. Not leaking, but pirating it. And these guys had to pay gigantic fines, like the biggest fines in Japanese court history. And they're going to jail for a long time because of it. And Nintendo don't play. Neither does Disney, but yeah. Finishing up with a few stories on social justice in gaming, y'all. This isn't social justice per se. It's one of our least favorite phrases in all of gaming. It's also used in TV shows and movies. Ubisoft, one of my least favorite gaming companies ever, announces Assassin's Creed remakes, because that's what we're all clamoring for. Says plan is to revisit some of the games we've created in the past and modernize them. One of my favorite phrases, updated for a modern audience. I dread that phrase so bad, and Ubisoft is the worst. I've created so many videos. They're like my hottest videos on my YouTube. And like I get so much hate on them, but they're also some of my most popular videos as far as views, because people either love to hate on it or love to hate on the haters of it. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's see. As of this, and this is all public information, they're like, oh, you shouldn't share this information because it makes you look pathetic. I'm like, I'm a small YouTube channel. I don't give a crap. Plus, you can see this. It's not like I've got views hidden. My last 2 videos have 5,000 views with 130 comments, and 1,896 views with 142 comments. The first video is sitting up and down. This is not public information, but I will reveal it. I don't give a crap. First video, 27 likes, 34 dislikes. They want to own the chuds. Oh, cry harder. I'm buying this game. Yeah, all 100 of you. And the second one has 68 upvotes, 40 downvotes. Cry harder, chuds. Here we go. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, whatever, has confirmed that they will will be remaking. God, you're can like bounding into comics. Can you like edit your crap, put it through ChatGPT, and in the process modernizing some of the earlier titles in the Assassin's Creed franchise. In the exclusive, who many may remember from his claims that Skull and Bones was a quadruple A game. Sure. Revealed that the studio plans for the history-hopping franchise during a recent sit-down with Ubisoft communications director Lucy O'Brien. Ugh. Pressed by O'Brien as to what he personally believed the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows might offer to those players who either have stopped playing or never played the series, Guillemot, whatever, Guillemot asserted, quote, I think the fact that you are in feudal Japan and you explore such a beautiful world with two complementary yet different characters is a very enticing proposition. Sure. You can choose how to handle any situation playing as shinobi or a samurai and have very different experiences depending on your choice. He opened. I can't wait for players, both new and returning, to get their hands on it. I've said my piece on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Skip. Every major YouTube upload, look at this. Every major YouTube upload of Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer holds negative like to dislike ratio. Official Ubisoft version at 600,000 dislikes and counting. Yeah. There's strong opinions on both sides. I'll say that. I'm getting both a lot of positive and a lot of negative. And I do interact with commenters, by the way. Some people are like, "Oh, you're big mad because you're replying to all the comments." I'm like, "Do you not see I'm replying to damn near all the like even the positive ones?" I reply to my commenters because I interact. I like to interact with my audience positively and negatively. If you don't like it, you can suck a fart out of my butt and hold it in like a hit out of a paraphernalia device. Either way. Continuing on the topic of Assassin's Creed, O'Brien then inquired as to whether or not the franchise will continue to simultaneously produce more lean franchise entries alongside the major ones, a la Mirage and Shadows, or stick to focusing solely on big budget releases. In turn, the CEO revealed, firstly, players can be excited about some remakes, which will allow us to revisit some of the games we've created in the past and modernize them. For those thinking, oh, well, don't give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, well, he's just talking about, like the graphics will be updated and like, the audio will be enhanced and that kind of stuff. Do not give them the benefit of the doubt. No, they have not earned that. They've not earned your trust. They will not do that at all. They are going to modernize it for a modern. They're going to what did I say uh change it for a modern audience or remake it for a modern audience, whatever. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to liberalize it. They're going to wokeify it. That's all they do with this stuff. When they say for a modern audience, that's what they mean. When they say modernize it, they don't mean updating graphics at all. That's why I'm a little worried about the Witcher when they remake that. There are worlds in some of our older Assassin's Creed games that are still extremely rich, he explained. Secondly, to answer your questions, there will be plenty of experience variety. The goal is to have Assassin's Creed games come out more regularly, but not for it to be the same experiences every year. Sure. Drawing his thoughts on the franchise to a close, Guillemot ultimately teased there are a lot of good things to come, including Assassin's Creed Hex, which we've announced, which is going to be a very different game from Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're going to surprise people, I think. Sure. Valhalla and Odyssey, from what I've heard. Yeah, said suggested and Shadows suggested the games will be subject to the standard fare script updates to avoid causing offensive ham-fisted attempts at diversity, and perhaps worst of all, excessive and predatory microtransactions. That's another offensive ass thing. Besides the wokeification, microtransactions, man, it needs to effing quit. My friend posted a meme that holds extremely true the other day where he was like, unlocking new levels back in the day. And it was like, you beat the game. And it said unlocking new levels in 2024. And it showed a guy like pulling out his credit card. Very predatory, very crappy. Just sucking all the money out of everyone they possibly freaking can. It's disgusting. And there are the people that will defend that. And, oh, are you mad that they're making money? That way, yes. After you already gave them your money and they keep upping the prices of the regular games, yes. I am mad about that. As should everybody be. Hi, Lovey. But yeah, they're going to update it for a modern audience. Get ready for that. Get the original Assassin's Creeds. Get them on the secondary market so you're not giving Ubisoft your money at all. F that company, man, and F everything they stand for. And people can call me big mad all they want and cry in my comments. Middle finger to you guys. We're getting the middle finger from Ubisoft and all you people that don't really care about Assassin's Creed and the integrity of it. We'll give you guys the middle finger and not pay for your crap. Watch them tank, and I hope Ubisoft goes out of business eventually. Okay. I brought up The Witcher earlier. This breaks my heart and gives me pause when it comes to them saying that they're going to remake the Witcher games like the first Witcher. Because at first it sounded great, but now I'm like, ugh, because they were talking about modernizing that as well. So this gives me a lot of pause. CD Projekt Red executive admits Cyberpunk 2077 was not dystopian enough after multiple visits to Californian cities. Do you mean like there wasn't enough street pooping? Was that it? Not enough pooping in the streets like San Francisco. 4 out of 10. Not enough dongs and bobs all in the same game. Brings it down to a 3 out of 10. You could seriously put bobs and dongs on your character at the same time. Not dystopian enough, though. CD Projekt Red associate game producer Paweł Sasko recently revealed that the company's first foray into the world of Cyberpunk 2077 was not dystopian enough after he visited multiple cities in California. During a recent appearance on CD Projekt Red's Answer Red podcast, Sasko and a number of other CD Projekt Red executives were discussing the company's expansion to Boston as they work on a follow-up to Cyberpunk 2077, codenamed Orion. I like Cyberpunk 2077, by the way. Just saying. Sasko, let's see. Sasko announced in 2022 that he and a number of developers for the project were moving to Boston. He posted on X, "I'm moving to Boston together with a core team responsible for Cyberpunk 2077 to establish new studio and be the foundation for the North American team." So does that mean the game is going to be set in Boston or what? I don't know. While discussing the move to Boston, Sasko explained how it will allow the developers to be fully immersed in American culture where Cyberpunk 2077 takes place. Okay. Sasko stated, "Being from Europe is like interesting. I sometimes feel like I'm in a camera and some other reality and just observing and taking snapshots." He then recalled, "Like, I remember traveling, let me try again. He then recalled, like, I remember us traveling a couple of times to, LA, San Francisco when working on Cyberpunk. And then after we sort of did the game, we shipped it. And I did even more traveling now when I'm in US. I see that we didn't push the envelope far enough in some places. Yeah, some of it just looks like California. As an example, he pointed to the homeless crisis in California. For instance, let's say the homeless crisis, and so on. Like, when I look at it, I'm like, we weren't like far enough in 77. This guy already talks like a SoCal native, saying but we thought that we were like dystopian, but we just touched the surface. So I was right. Not enough street pooping in the game. More of that. Executive producer Dan Hernberg, who's working with Sasko on Project Orion, then added, "You're like, we had one homeless person in a tent somewhere. Yes, and an American's like, wow, that's like, nothing. Like, you need a whole city. So it is very different in some of these areas where even when I played Cyberpunk, that you kind of see these things like that. And you're like, wait, someone's like, oh, that's really bad. And you're like, no, that's barely scratching the surface of the differences. There's subtle differences, or these subtle differences. Sasko then replied, exactly. We thought like, oh yeah, we are being edgy. Again, they need a spell check. I guess this is a different website, but they need to spell check too on that Park Place. Anyway, oh yeah, we are being edgy, with all that stuff. And I'm like, my walk to the train every day is more edgy sometimes. Yeah, it's sketchy as hell, man. As noted by CNN in July 2023, California has spent a stunning $17.5 billion trying to combat homelessness just over just 4 years. But in the same time frame, from 2018 to 2022, the state's homeless population actually grew. Half of all Americans living outside on the streets, federal data shows, live in California. Go figure. In fact, the outlet claimed at the time that more than 170,000 unhoused people, 1983 kind of language, live in California alone. Yet, when the when the uh I can't think of his name, the leader, the supreme leader of China comes to town, boy howdy, they cleaned that the F up. They came in and say, get your damn tents and your street poop and your needles out of here, brah. Nah. Out of here now. None of that. We can't have the supreme leader of China thinking we're a crap hole third world country of a state. It's disgusting, man. California is a dump, and they're absolutely right. I thought for sure they were talking about, oh, we need to amp it up as far as the wokeness. No. This is actually pretty based. He's saying, no, California is a huge pile of dung. Crap hole on a stick. And it is. It's a cesspool out there, man. I would never be caught going out there, ever. And you can sit here and defend California all you want. I know multiple people in California. My friend Greg that passed away last year, he took the train every single day. He never drove a day in his life. And he would tell me about the crap he sees. He would send me pictures. He's like, dude, look at this. Just look at it. It's freaking disgusting. Everybody is unsafe. You get robbed all the time. Like I said, people street pooping. Needles everywhere. People just zonked out like freaking zombies on the subway and elsewhere. And he's absolutely right. It's not dystopian enough in some places of Cyberpunk. That's not a reality in most of the country. California is its own animal, man. A dangerous place to be, a disgusting place to be. If you can get out, get the F out. Boston's not great, but it's better. But that's where the next one is going to be. I know this is an extremely long stream. I appreciate anybody who's been checking it out so long. I am going to cut a lot of this up and post it as long form videos this week and next. Before I get into my last two stories, please follow us, subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Locals. Join our Locals. YouTube, it's youtube.com youtube.com/at Marks on Media. We recently changed. That's why I still have Main Event Marks on my mind. We rebranded everywhere. Instagram and X, we are at Marks_on_media, because somebody already had Marks on Media. Kick, we're Marks on Media. Locals, we're Marks on Media. Thank you all for sticking with me, for subscribing, for checking various things out. Last two stories here, and then we'll wrap it all up before we hit the 3-hour mark. I promise. Let's get into more trash companies in the video game industry. Square Enix shareholder presses company presidente on relationship with Sweet Baby Inc. receives non-answer in return. Again, why would they answer to you? They don't feel a need to answer to anybody. Look, if we go down with woke ideology, we're going down with the ship, baby. Full steam ahead. A recent Square Enix investor meeting reportedly saw a shareholder directly press the company on their relationship with notorious video game diversity consultant agency Sweet Baby Inc. Dude, they have enough investment in their company from places like BlackRock and Vanguard and whatever else, and State Street to prop them up while they keep crashing. And at the very least, they will merge with a bigger company that will take them over. Big Daddy, whoever. And like Microsoft bought out a lot of these studios and saved them. And if they ever get rid of their CEOs and their top people, they all have golden parachutes to set them up for life, or they can have a history of failure in the video game industry and somebody will still take their asses in and give them high profile jobs in a new company. They fail upwards, or they keep failing and keep moving around laterally in the video game industry. It's disgusting. You don't have to be successful in the video game industry. You just have to make it at some point to a high profile position, and that's it. You'll be set for life no matter what happens to you. These people don't give a damn. They don't care about their customers, their investors. Not as long as you're not one of the multi-million-dollar investors that prop them up and demand. Sorry, there's a gnat. Like, I have like one gnat in my house that I can't get rid of. The event was first brought to public attention courtesy of one of the meeting's apparent attendees at Mixuzu, a Japanese blogger and YouTuber who specializes in analyzing entertainment data, ranging from the sale figures of video games to the rise in popularity of VTubers. Oh my God, Forspoken, what a bomb. According to and I will say this, I thought it was for all the people out there, oh, you're just a sexist, homophobic, racist pig. This is a game starring a fantasy game starring a woman of color, and I thought it looked pretty good, but all the reviews said it was just straight doo-doo, booty juice. So I was like, I'm not wasting my money. According to the self-described shareholder meeting enthusiast, as written on their X profile page and machine translated via Google Translate, the shareholder Q&A portion of the meeting saw current Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu pressed on a number of hard topics, including whether the lack of new info on Dragon Quest VII contributed to recent losses, what their future sales targets look like, and how they plan to protect their copyrighted works from being scraped, for AI generation tools. Among these topics was the company's current relationship with Sweet Baby Inc., to which a shareholder reportedly asked, "I'm personally happy about the shift to from quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting company Sweet Baby Inc. Square Enix is listed as a client, but is there actually a transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue to do so in the future?" What's the related rumor? PlayStation Studio seeks. Oh, I already covered that last week. If you want to check that out, I did a long form video on it. In response, President Kiryu declined to answer the question directly, instead deflecting by assuring the shareholders of Square Enix's own future. "I would like to refrain from making specific comments about individual clients," said Kiryu per Mixuzu. "As we shift from quantity to quality, providing content that is enjoyable and safe for our customers." Safe? Yeah, they might bawl their eyes out if they hear a microaggression. Is also part of what makes a product fun. We will do our best as creators. From there, the shareholder meeting concluded with the passing of 3 new corporate proposals and the introduction of Square Enix's new directors. While safe could mean a game that is a safe bet for investors, in this context, it seems far more likely it means a game that does not offend any sociopolitical sensibilities. Only on the left, though, not on the right. They don't care about that. The rainbow agenda marches on. And super diversity, which actually isn't diversity at all, it just means less white folk, that marches on as well. In other words, they don't want to offend this person. Yeah, there we go. Them again. Boom, 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 boom. They don't want to offend the blue-haired activist. And that brings us to our last story of the day, which is just ignorance at its finest from, yet again, my favorite, dripping with sarcasm, gaming company, Ubisoft. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, him again, says he's dismayed about the malicious and personal online attacks directed at team members. Company's community manager appears to have animus against white men. Personal online attacks. My God. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot stated that he's dismayed by alleged malicious and personal online attacks that have been directed at Ubisoft team members and partners. In an interview with Lucy O'Brien, Ubisoft's director of editorial communications, that was published to Ubisoft's website, Guillemot was asked, "I'd like to end with a 2-part question. First part, what dismays you about the games industry right now?" That's not a leading question whatsoever. I mean, I guess, it to be fair, could mean anything. It doesn't necessarily have to mean, directed at fans or whatever. If anybody hears my kitty, another black kitty, I have 3, Grace. She's a little more shy. She doesn't want to be on camera. But she's a cutie. She loves to talk. But getting to this layup of a question, he responded, "One thing I am concerned about right now is the malicious and personal online attacks that have been directed at some of our team members and partners. I want to make it clear that we at Ubisoft condemn these hateful acts in the strongest possible terms, and I encourage the rest of the industry and players to denounce them too. I am proud to support the amazing work of our team and partners, and I will always trust in their creative choices. We should all celebrate the hard work and talent that goes into making video games," he concluded. He didn't share, here we go, he didn't share any evidence or discuss what these malicious and personal online attacks are. However, 2 major upcoming games that Ubisoft is about to release in Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows have been massively ridiculed by gamers for its injection of wokeness in character choices and design, as well as narratives in both games plan to tell. One of them is let's see. Both of them are kind of on the main characters, the big ones. Screenshot from Outlaws. Look, the character isn't as hideous as I think a lot of people are claiming, but, I normally would not have an issue with the character being female, like the main character. The game looks okay. However, the only reason I would have an issue with this main character being female is because every Star Wars main character is female now. Everyone. How many main character females do we freaking need? The twins in I mean, it's one actress, but the characters are twins. In The Acolyte, Rey Skywalker, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shand was not the main character, but kind of showed up. Boba Fett in his own show. Princess Leia showed up. Obi-Wan in his own show. Ahsoka. How many main female protagonists do we need? My God, in Rogue One, the female was the main character, and I loved Rogue One. I thought it was fantastic, the best thing Disney Star Wars has put out. But I'm just tired of it. They don't get the benefit of the doubt anymore. If this was not a common thread, I'd be like, sure, whatever, because we already got Jedi Fallen Order, where it's obviously Kel Kestis, who's the main character. He's a dude. But I'm just tired of freaking seeing it. And Ubisoft clearly has an agenda. This game set in feudal Japan. They make a guy, they make the main male protagonist. They're like, well, you get a female Japanese protagonist. Both of them should be Japanese. Sure, Yasuke is a little interesting with his backstory. But he wasn't, they're like, oh, he was a real samurai. No, he was not. He was basically the weapons bearer for the real samurais. He didn't do battle. He was just big and strong and tall, and they thought he was a novelty because he was black. So they kept him around. Somebody said he was the house ninja. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, he wasn't a real samurai. And they're going to make both characters LGBT, which if you're going to say, oh, it was a historically accurate character, he wasn't a samurai. He wasn't bi. So what are you doing? Ubisoft, and then, they hide behind, oh, we're getting personal attacks online. If the personal attacks are saying you're stupid and you have an agenda that you admitted to, then sure, they're personal attacks, but grow the F up. And when my worst, the excuse I hate the most, whether it's for TV shows, movies, video games, anything, books, when they say, "Oh, well, they worked really hard." I don't give a damn how hard they worked on it. If it's a crap product, then you worked really hard on a pile of crap. I worked really hard getting out my morning turd, but it doesn't mean it's a good thing. It doesn't mean that people have to enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the smell afterwards. Just like nobody enjoys the Ubisoft product. I don't care how hard they worked. They worked hard on garbage. People are sick and tired of this, sick and tired of Ubisoft. I think their future products are pretty much going to tank or they'll break even. They will learn nothing and they'll keep going, just like Disney, just like Star Wars. Let it all burn down to the ground, and they can go F themselves. Anyway, all right, I got my weekly anger rant out right at the end. We've been going for damn near 3 hours. Thank you all for watching. If you watched this long, I really appreciate it. I got a little distracted at times. You had a lot of pets jumping in and making their streaming debuts. Yeah, we celebrated America, baby. 4th of July tomorrow. I hope you all go see some fireworks, go to a festival and hear a middle-aged band do some covers of some boomer songs. Get something fried on a stick, man. That's the American freaking way. Here's some fireworks to Born in the USA by Commie, whatever, Bruce Springsteen. Song is actually kind of insulting to America, but, a lot of people don't listen to the lyrics. All right. And then that wraps it up. One more time, if you can follow us on X and Instagram, we are at marks_on_media. We've rebranded everything, and Marks on Media was taken on those platforms, so I had to go with that. Marks_on_media. Check that out. On Rumble, we are rumble.com/C/Marks on Media. On YouTube, we're youtube.com/@main event at Marks on Media. Still getting used to it. I apologize. We're Marks on Media on Kick. We're join our locals at Marks on Media. We're all over the place, man. We're growing. I appreciate it. We are yay close to being monetized on YouTube. We are monetized on Rumble. We need to grow, man. Grow. I hope you tell everybody. We're going to try to stream once a week, at least through the end of July. August, it's going to get a little harder. I don't think we're going to stream in August and September, which sucks, but it is what it is. Content might be a little scarce at times, but I'm going to try to upload as much as humanly possible in August and September. Those are my busy months. October, you'll get a little bit more content. I'll try to stream a bit more, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So that does it, everybody. I really appreciate all of you sticking around. Please follow us on X and Instagram. I'm trying to keep up with it, Instagram a little bit more, but I'm on X, very active on YouTube. I'm very active on Rumble when I actually get comments. Thank you all for sticking with me, and click to get notifications whenever you can. I post new content every single day on YouTube and Rumble. Again, thank you all, and we will see you next time.